What's up, one-uppers? I'm James.
I'm Mikhail.
And we're here today to give you a monumentous occasion, alright? One-up movie review.
Oh my god, James.
Yeah, that's right, man. And we're not just gonna... Yeah, and this is not just a regular review. No. This is gonna be one epic movie review.
And why is that?
Because we're gonna be reviewing the best movie ever. I mean, it's not like it's gonna be just a random film. No, it's gonna be a specific one. No, yeah, that's right. We're gonna be talking about Peppa Pig.
Really? Come on, be real.
And you know, I'm fucking joking. Yeah, no. We're gonna be reviewing Avengers Endgame, alright? So sit back, relax, cause shit's gonna run wild, man. Am I right, man?
You are right, man.
So here it is, our review for Avengers Endgame. Of Avengers Endgame. Mick?
So, basically it follows the aftermath of Infinity War, where the Avengers are trying to deal with the loss of the people they have lost in the snap.
Now, just a quick disclosure, alright, if you haven't seen Infinity War.
Spoiler alert! Now.
But don't worry. To sum it up, basically, Endgame takes place just after the snap. Alright, half the universe gone, and several other Marvel heroes are also gone, which then leads to the Avengers to sort of a last-ditch effort, finding Thanos and unfortunately, unceremoniously killing him. At this point, it then jumps about five-ish years into the future. All right, and then pretty much like, you know, the world has like changed. All right, because of that snap. All right, every hero has just like either given up or they're just still in shock until Ant-Man.
Yeah. He came back from the quantum realm, and he helped the Avengers discover the key to getting back the Infinity Stones via the power of time travel.
And this leads into one hell of a complex adventure where we basically go literally down memory lane. We go basically to the events of Avengers 1. We basically go to the events of Thor 2. We go to the events of, I think it was Captain America, post-Captain America 1. And from then onwards, man, I mean, we just see past characters coming back. We see new interactions. Just the timeline itself now from just one linear, it becomes sort of like a branching thing because of said time travel. It's like it's like the X-Men timeline, except it's for the MCU. So, yeah. At that point, after they do retrieve the stones, because that was their plan, go back in time, get the stones, undo the snap. Thanos catches wind of it, which then leads to the most climactic shot. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when I first saw this, I could not feel my hands. They were just, I was giddy at that point, man. It was like, I have seen beauty in that film because of the final battle with Thanos. Am I right, dude?
You could not be anywhere wrong, my friend. It was the most amazing thing I've seen in my life.
Like, literally, if I could not describe it, so I'm going to... So I'm just going to say this, like, if I had to describe the final battle in a few words, in just a few images, I would just say... Oh my God! It does end, but not without sacrifice, though.
Press F to pay respect.
Yes, press F, unfortunately, because...
Don't let them find it out.
Yeah, look, they said, okay, the director said this film was going to be a bit like Game of Thrones, except not everyone dies, alright? They said that there will be real deaths, and there are.
But they're all for the greater good.
Yeah.
They're not they haven't gone to waste.
I know, but it still hurts like hell, man, alright?
Yeah, but we just have to accept it. It is life. They had no choice.
Yeah. So that's pretty much the gist of Avengers Endgame. The culmination of everything the MCU has led up to this point. And to the Russo brothers, if you're seeing this, hats off. Alright, we salute you.
So, with James out of the way, I will give you the pros. Now, one thing I found a pro that not a lot of people liked was Thor. And I'll be honest, I liked what they did with him. He lost his family, he lost his planet, he lost his best friends, so he did what anyone would do. He fell into a depression, he gained weight, and he grew a beard. I honestly liked it because it gave a new look. And it gave us heroes in more sizes. Now yes, this is coming from the big guy right here, don't judge me. Another pro that I liked was, well, for starters, a lot of references, a lot of memes. They paid a lot of tribute to every movie, and even the ones that aren't as important, but are also important. And also Captain America. Just Captain America in general, just enough said. And now to give you the cons is again my buddy James. I saw it and I can't get up myself.
While my fabulous friend Mikhail did give us the pros of Endgame, unfortunately, it's not exactly perfect. I'm sorry, folks. Okay, I'm sorry. Please do not bash the comments with like, how dare you? Okay, it had its flaws. The time travel aspect of Endgame, that might make it a little convoluted. All right, Back to the Future, Terminator 2, that kind of stuff. It did leave a few plot holes in it and make a few like unanswered questions. You know, like for one thing, there is a part where they do try to get the Tesseract, they fail, and Loki escapes. At that point, what happens to Loki? We don't know. It doesn't get answered. You know, and another con, just the way they did the Hulk, in my opinion. All right, now if they did a good job, you know, with sort of balancing out the Professor Hulk's persona, but they really didn't leave much for usefulness. Like in the final battle scene, the Hulk should have been there to sort of, he should have at least tried to, you know, kick a bit of ass, but we didn't see him much. And speaking of the final battle, there were a few characters, now again, you know, my opinion, where they didn't get much of a spotlight. They did try, but only for a few seconds. I felt like some characters should have gotten like a little bit more. Especially, you know, characters like, I don't know, maybe Groot or something, you know? So, yeah, that is my take on the cons of Avengers Endgame. Okay, we talked about the pros, we talked about the cons, we talked about the basic of the film, and now it's time for the nerdy. So, to help me out with this fun little thing, I decided to summon up from the bowels of geekdom two nice friends of mine who will help us out with this. Aiden and Fabio.
Hello peoples, we are the nerds. My name is Aiden, this is Fabio. Hello. And we are going to give you all the nerdy in-depth and BTS of Avengers Endgame. And for you to tell this, we have Fabio.
Please let's not get into Fortnite Endgame ever again. Thank you very much.
Yes, yeah, if you had to deal with that cancer during Endgame, I apologize, okay? We almost threw up after we had to see Fortnite.
Especially because of you, new bastard 69.
Exactly, Thor's gonna come after your ass and he's gonna beat you. What other nice nerdy things did you find throughout Endgame?
Well, first of all, I actually was really shocked about the fact that that this movie has actually got to be as perfect of a superhero movie or comic book movie, if you will, than you could ever get. I mean, to literally complete a saga, 11 years and 22 movies in the making is truly exceptional, but the Russo brothers have actually managed to pull off the impossible, even though, you know, time travel, yeah, it's always a bit of a
Russo brothers came
sensitive subject.
Russo brothers came really close to perfecting the best film of the MCU after Avengers Infinity War.
Or the Winter Soldier.
Yes, and Winter Soldier and Captain America Civil War.
Yes.
Which funny little fact, they have made 4 1 billion movies now in their belt when it comes to MCU films.
Actually, Endgame is now pretty much at the time of you watching this video, actually has become the most successful movie of all time. It has
Beat that, James Cameron!
twofold, bitch!
Alright, any more Easter eggs you'd like to put in?
Well, actually, I'm really surprised that I have enjoyed this movie so much. I mean, I barely have sat through Infinity War like twice, but Endgame I've already seen it twice. I definitely want to watch it again, and it really is that great. I mean, that death at the end. When I saw it the first time, I was literally shocked. But when I saw it the second time, I couldn't stop crying. I mean, literally, it was that good. Especially when you watch it all the way to the very end, and you hear that sound, and it's like Marvel has literally come full circle.
Basically. So now we're going to talk about another important aspect when it comes to Marvel movies. And no, it's not the product placement of their cars, okay? Get over that. We are talking about the music. The MCU film has had a very, very long history of making up very nice musical scores. From the opening musical score of Iron Man to the ensemble of all the Avengers films to the very, very desperate soundtrack of Captain America Civil War. Avengers Endgame is a combination of every single MCU film. In a way, this soundtrack, I'm gonna sum it up in one word: portals. During the final act of the film, we get to see the titular soundtrack come into play. And let me tell you, this is the single greatest piece of music you're ever going to hear in your life. If I had to put it as an entry of 1,000 movie scores that you have to hear before you die, Portal's gonna be at the top of that list, okay?
Especially when you finally get to hear those two words that every single true nerd on this planet has been waiting to see in live action for 7 years.
Exactly, ever since Age
Oh
of
my
Ultron.
god, I literally, the entire audience with me could not help but literally. Oh my god, just thinking about it, it's literally perfection. No, honestly, if the movie isn't perfect, that moment is absolute cinematic perfection.
Side note, if we're talking about performances, people are starting to campaign for Robert Downey Jr. to get an Oscar, and we'd like to go on record and say we agree.
No shit. I mean, honestly, it goes without saying that without Robert Downey Jr., there would never be Iron Man, there would never be a Marvel Cinematic Universe, and there would never be Endgame. I mean, if nothing else, he truly deserves to at least be recognized, just as Black Panther has done the impossible this year. Oh yeah, and Spider-Man too. The fact that finally the world is starting to recognize, talking about you, Hollywood, that superhero movies actually can mean something more than just popcorn entertainment.
And money. They're actually worth awards. Especially after what Black Panther did at the Oscars.
Not just awards. Awards are insignificant. No, it's recognition. This is the one thing that Stan Lee has always drove when he single-handedly shepherded Marvel Comics to 80 years ago.
Press F for respects for Stan Lee, by the way, since this was his final cameo in Avengers Endgame.
What about Far From Home? It's not impossible that we could actually see him one more time. And by the way, if you are not hyped for Spider-Man Far From Home, then why the hell do you even call yourself a Marvel fan?
Exactly. So that is basically the lowdown of all things nerdy in Avengers Endgame, and we'd like to direct you back to the attention of our superiors, James and Mikhail.
all jokes aside, folks, alright, that has been Avengers Endgame, folks, alright? And let me tell you, with these reviews, anything's possible, right, fam?
It is, man. We could end up seeing a movie about a rat who's a detective.
Or we might even see a film about a young boy who gets superpowers.
Or we could just see a movie about a humble man who just wants to make the world smile.
Or, just a quick thought, we might even see a film about a guy who goes on a murder spree because someone killed his dog. At this point, anything's possible, folks. But in all seriousness, though, we thank you for joining us for this amazing review. They will only improve over time, folks, alright? Anything's possible now, okay? We thank you, and as always, I've been James.
I'm Mikhail.
And we'll see you in our next one-up movie review. We love you 3000. Now, if you excuse us, we're gonna go eat cheeseburgers, right, man?
Yeah, man.
All right.
Let's go.
See ya.